So I noticed I actually had a few other books from the Key West Mystery series on my to-read list already, so this is the next one I decided to try. It's called Death in Four Courses by Lucy Burdette, and is actually set sometime before Top Chef because Haley has only just recently landed her job as a food critic at the magazine, and she's really working hard to prove herself. Like, she doesn't have a great deal of confidence. This is her first food writing related gig by the sound of it, and she not only wants to prove that she can do it for herself, she also really needs to prove it because the co-owner of the magazine is looking for any reason to fire her. Like, the co-owner's sister, it sounds like, was killed in a previous book, and even though Haley was exonerated of that crime, the sister still kind of holds her responsible. So any mistakes that she makes are definitely going to come back to bite her. At the same time, her mother is arriving in Key West to visit her for the weekend, during which there's going to be this big literary conference focused on food writing, like fiction and cookbooks, and everything revolved around food. And Haley is planning to attend this event and to hopefully produce some kind of really stellar article that will ensure the security of her job. At the same time, she's hoping to have a good time with her mom. But, it's a little hard to say whether or not having her mom along as she tries to navigate this conference and write her article will be a good or a bad thing. At the keynote speech of the conference, things start to get really tense because the speaker, who's this super famous food critic and also a really controversial person, gives a speech that makes everyone extremely nervous and also offends quite a few people. Like, he has a great many criticisms for current trends in food writing, as well as this stance about honesty, where it seems like he's bent on airing everybody's dirty laundry, like whether or not it is appropriate to do so. So obviously he's not making friends, and at the end of the day's festivities, Haley unfortunately stumbles across his dead body in a dipping pool, and her being on site of, like, being there to discover it in the first place is not really a good thing, and continues to put her in a bad position, I guess, for the relationship she is hoping to build with her detective semi-boyfriend. Let's see. So, I think I liked learning more about the characters in this book, like going back to an earlier time period. I feel like you got a little bit more about each person's history, and I get to understand, I think, her situation a bit better. And like I liked seeing the relationship between her and her mom. Like, frankly, her mom can be deeply embarrassing sometimes in a very mom-like kind of way, but I think that was kind of what made it entertaining. And actually, I think her mom's a better investigator than she is because she's better at socializing and doesn't always try to just cut straight to the point when she's having conversations with people, which is actually a much better way of getting information. But something I did not like, I think, other than what I already mentioned in my previous review, the one thing I would have liked to see more of was, I think, more descriptions of the actual conference and the things that happened. Like, I don't really know anything about food writing, and I've definitely never been to a conference like this, so I kind of just would have liked to hear more about, like, what it's like to go, like, what kind of people attend, like, how the event's structured, and, well, all of that, I guess, like, is not really necessary to the story, but I kind of would have enjoyed it.